Hey everybody, Dr. Brian Damoff. Today I'm going to show you guys a beginner ankle stability circuit for runners. It's very useful for trail runners because trail running requires a lot of ankle stability. But it's also important for regular runners because if you're anything like me, you run some streets that they got a few potholes, it's on uneven surface, the trails aren't 100% flat, everything like that. So the nice part about this circuit is it requires zero equipment. You could do this anywhere. It's a nice little circuit to do post-run or even as a standalone circuit. It's something that might be a little bit tough the first couple times that you do it, but as you gain some of that ankle stability, it's going to get easier and easier. So I'm going to run you through these moves here, and again, this is something that you could do anywhere. So I love that. You could do it at the trailhead, you could do it after the run, anything like that. Let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to do is you're just going to lay flat on your back. We're going to do a little something to get our ankles warmed up here. And it's a little something I like to call circle to the left, circle to the right, point and flex, point and flex. So again, we're going to go circle to the left, circle to the right, point and flex, point and flex. And then we'll go ahead and switch legs here, same thing. I'm going to circle to the left, circle to the right, point and flex, and then circle to the left, circle to the right, point and flex, point and flex. So it's kind of a fun thing to get started with, and it just helps to get some of that range of motion in our ankles here. So then from there, what we're going to do is we're just going to heel walk here. So I'm going to go forwards. I'm really on those heels. I'm pulling those toes up as high as I can. And I'll go forwards for a little bit, and then I'm just going to go backwards in that same thing. The distance that I'm doing here is about 10 meters, but you can kind of do whatever works best for you in your space. So after I did that, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to walk on the outside of the feet. And again, you're going to look kind of goofy doing this one, but just trying to walk on different parts of the feet. And after I've done that, then I'm going to go ahead and switch it up, and I'm going to walk on the inside of the feet. And again, just trying to walk on different parts of the feet as we go. And then once I've done that, we're going to do one that's just a little bit harder here. This is where we start to get into some of that ankle stability. I'm just going to do a single leg hop, and I'm not trying to go fast. I'm not trying to jump high. Just little hops, and every time getting that bounce in between. This one is definitely more difficult than the other ones, and you'll feel those ankles working as you go here. So I'll go down with one leg, and then I'll switch legs, and I'll come back with that other leg. And same thing, that tendency is to really rush this, but I don't really want to rush this. I want to take my time. I always say enjoy the views as you go along, just landing nice and comfortably every single time. So now that I've done that one, I'm going to do one that's a little easier. This time I'm going to get up on my toes as high as I can go. I'm just going to windmill my arms just to make it a little more fun, and I'll go forwards, and then again I'm going to go backwards, and I'll move those arms backwards, but same thing, really high up on the balls of the feet as you go. And then once I get back to the beginning here, now what I'm going to do, very similar to what I did before with those little hops, and again this is going to be more difficult. I'm going to go on the outside foot here, and I'm just going to do a little lateral hop and then get that bounce. I'm not rushing this move at all, and you can see even for me, I can feel the ankle working pretty well here. And it feels pretty good. So again, don't rush these hops. That tendency is as soon as you land to jump again, but I want you to get your bounce just like I'm doing here. And then once you get down to the end, you're going to switch legs. Same thing going back. And again, no rush here. Getting that bounce every single time. The hops don't have to be big. They can just be little hops. And then you'll feel that ankle really working. I try to land with a flat foot every single time. I don't want to be up on the ball of the foot, which is something that I see people do. Good. And then once I've done that, the next move that we're going to do, you're going to find a line. If you don't have a line, you can use an imaginary line. I've got a nice one right here on this turf. And what I'm gonna do is for 10 seconds, I'm gonna hop back and forth over that line as fast as I can be. Very, very key that we be very quick on this. And it's only 10 seconds, so we go really hard for 10 seconds. I'm gonna do my best to estimate 10 seconds here, but we're gonna go ahead and go and just really fast over that line. It's always a tough one, that's for sure. Feel that ankle working for sure, and then we're gonna switch legs, and we're gonna do the same exact thing. Like another 10 seconds, back and forth over that line as fast as you can go. Good, and then we're gonna go back to that first leg. We're gonna do the same exact thing, another 10 seconds, going really hard on that, back and forth. I always think mentally tell yourself, go as fast as you can, and that's something that always helps. If you're doing this with a friend or something like that, you guys can have a competition over the line if you want. So another 10 seconds here, back and forth. Good, and then one last one here. I'm gonna switch back to that other leg. Same thing, I'm gonna do 10 seconds as fast as I can back and forth here with that other leg. Good, and then we got one last thing to do. So you might need a little breather after that one. It definitely gets the heart rate up. These ones I call Weathervanes, and essentially what we're gonna do is you're gonna start on a leg. So I just finished with my left leg. I'm gonna switch back to that right leg, and I'm gonna start in the middle, and then I'm gonna go one direction and get my bounce. And then I'm gonna go another direction, get that bounce, come back here, and I'm just gonna go around back and forth here, and then I can go back the other way. There's not really a right or a wrong, but again, just these little mini hops, and then get that bounce in between. There's no rush on them. I find that sometimes people try to really rush these, and we don't need to rush, and as you go, you're gonna really feel that ankle having to work. So I tell people to do it for about a minute, but since this is at the end of our circuit here, you can do it as long as you want to really make that ankle work in there. And the reason I call them weather vanes, I always think about, if you know what a weather vane is, it's something that goes on the barn that shows the direction. So see, that's about all I got on that leg, and then I'm gonna switch legs. And then same thing, just these little mini hops. Don't need to be big, don't need to be fast. Getting that stability every single time before you move to that next direction. You shouldn't be off bounce when you go to jump. And I think that's one error that I see sometimes in people when they do this one. So get that stability first before you do the little hop to go the other direction. And these, again, are really nice to do at the end of the workout because of how tough they are. Good, and so once you do about a minute on either side, that wraps up our little ankle stability circuit. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more great content. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you find the information useful.